So we've waited about 45 minutes, and we're going to take our pie dough out of the refrigerator. What we've done by putting it in the refrigerator is we've given the dough time to relax. If we roll it right away when we've just made it, it's going to be too, it's not going to stretch enough. It's going to constrict too much. And that makes it very difficult for us to roll the pie dough out. So we put it in the refrigerator a little bit. That relaxes all the glutens that are in there, and that allows our dough to have more flexibility. I said earlier that we need a scale. What we're going to do is we're going to weigh our base dough to see how much it is. And then we're going to divide that dough into three, about 13 ounces a piece. We're going to take our handy dandy little dough cutter, if I can find it. Hold on. Here we go. And we're going to cut this into thirds. That's one. Perfect. 2 and 3. And we'll just set these off to the side. Now, we have a little bowl here that's full of some extra flour. We don't want to use a whole lot of flour, but we want to flour our work surface so that we can roll the dough out. I'm going to show you a little trick that I use if my dough is warm. It's not warm, but if, just in case your dough is warm, a great little trick is to use parchment paper. And what we do is we put the dough between the two pieces of parchment paper, and that keeps the dough from sticking onto the work surface. It also makes it easy to turn. It keeps you from having to add too much flour, because parchment paper is a fantastic surface. It doesn't have a lot of things don't stick to it. Add a little bit of flour, and then put our other piece on top of it. Then our rolling pin, I always flour my rolling pin just a little bit because it helps it from sticking. We take our rolling pin and we roll our dough out. I always have to tuck my parchment paper underneath the table so that it stays still. See, we can just flip it right over because we can grab the parchment paper and turn it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take it off of our parchment paper and go right onto the work surface. Because I feel like I can tell the thickness of it better if I'm not working through the parchment paper. And you see how nice it's moving? When you're rolling it, if you see that if you've stopped motion on the table, if you don't see that the dough is moving, you really need to put a little bit more flour on your surface so that you don't stick. So we're going to roll it to the dimension that we need for our pie plate. We're almost there. That looks really good. And I have a pretty little pie plate over here that we're going to use. And I don't really measure per se. I just look at my pie dish, my pie plate, and say, yep, that's about good. Now we're going to set our pie plate off to the side, and if we try to pick this up, there's a good chance that it's going to rip. So here's a trick that really makes it very simple for you to move your pie dough. You're going to roll it over your rolling pin. Put your pie plate back and then just drop it right into your pie plate. Then we're going to tuck that in. We don't want to push on the center because we don't want to rip our dough. But we just want to tuck it down in. And we're going to leave a little bit extra hanging off there, so that we can do whatever style we would like to around that edge. We have a little bit of extra dough to work with. So there we have it in our pie dish. Now, to form our shape on our sides, all around our edges, we need to cut off this extra. So I'm going to just come around with a pair of shears. We don't want to cut a lot off, but we don't want to leave a lot either. So we've trimmed that to about 1 inch. Then we're going to come back and we're going to tuck in that edge all the way around. Still leaving a little bit to hang over. So we've got a nice thick pie crust all the way around. If you'd like to make it very simple, this is a great way to leave it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a little bit more rustic because it's a more free form, but if you'd like something to be a little bit more structured, we can come around and we can make edges. And we can just crimp. So you can see here we have a nice crimp. You see that? So we'll go all the way around our pie shell, make a nice little trim. I think that's really pretty. Not too complicated. It's very simple. There we go. That's pretty basic pie crust, but it's going to be delicious. So over here I've already made the filling. And one of my husband's favorite recipes is a chocolate chip pecan derby pie. And so just to save a little time, I've got my filling done. I'm going to add my chocolate chips and my pecans. Give that a great fold in there so that all of our ingredients are incorporated. And it goes right into our pie shell. That looks fantastic. You know, I can't say no to this either. This is one of my favorite pies. Doesn't that look pretty? I think it looks great. The last part of our pie is egg washing our crust. This is just a whole egg wash, and we're gonna go around our edges and we're gonna brush just the edge of our pie. This helps your pie crust have a beautiful, beautiful color, nice and golden. That's going to be really, really nice. I can't wait to see it on my Thanksgiving table tomorrow. And I bet you can't wait to see it on your holiday table as well. So in the oven we go. And we're done. I hope you have a fantastic holiday season, and thanks for joining us for our demo on pie crust. See you next time.